And welcome back to the program. This is still Good Morning Kenya, and many thanks for staying with us. If you're just joining us, you're right in time for our first conversation on our Entertainment Thursday segment. Na kama wewe ni mtazamaji wa Maisha Magic East, kila Jumatatu hadi Ijumaa kuanzia saa 1:30 hadi saa 2, basi mgeni wetu wa leo si sura geni kwako. I feel nice speaking that way, by the way.
Kwa vizuri. I say you speak good Swahili.
You know, there's something about meeting people from the coast. When you have conversations with them, it's just like a thing to like change your accent a bit.
Not really.
Not really?
Yeah, I think tunaongea tu Kiswahili normal.
Kiswahili normal?
Yeah.
Selestine Nyagha
Kivuma.
Mkewe jasiri kwenye pete.
Yeah. Lakini Nuru. Selestine Nyagha hapana, Nuru. Yeah.
Selestine Nuru. Who is Selestine? I mean, you do a lot of things, and as we continue building up on this conversation, we'll get to understand all that you do as a person. But who is Selestine Nyagha in a nutshell?
Okay. First of all, Selestine is an actress. And Selestine is also an entrepreneur and also a brand ambassador. And I would say in just a few words that Selestine just loves acting. Like, honestly, it's in me, and I love doing that. Acting is in you. And you've not just done Petty, you've done a couple of movies.
Yeah,
you've done
Penzi also, which was across East Africa.
Yeah.
You've said you're a brand ambassador. You are into initiatives, community, CSR, and all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you get to do all these things, just a single person?
Okay, first of all, when we're on set, like when we were shooting Petty, we normally go there for like a period of time. We go there maybe for like 3 months or 4 months or even 8. So you get a chance to, like after the 3 months, then you get a chance to, maybe you are given off for a month or so. So when I'm at home or when maybe I'm free, napata hiyo time nzuri sasa ya do all the other things that I want to do. Like, I'm also an entrepreneur. So most of the time when I'm at home, I focus on my business. I love hotel business. So most of the time kama niko nyumbani na focus na business zangu, and the other things that I normally do is CSR. Yeah, that's how I manage my timetable.
All right. And I was reading through your bio, and there's a part you said, I mean, growing up from the coastal region, clearly it was not easy, and even getting into this space.
That's true.
Field ya usanii.
Kabisa.
I mean, usanii by this sio rahisi. Wasanii tu.
Si rahisi, honestly, sio rahisi, because unajua Mombasa haiko so much exposed, but right
Kama
now
Nairobi.
Yes, but right now tuko vizuri. I will say that right now Mombasa have improved sana when it comes to production, when it comes to a lot of TV series have been shot in Mombasa. Unakuta hata wasanii na producers wanatoka Nairobi wanakuja kushoot Mombasa, so it's growing. But now when I was getting into the industry, it wasn't easy at that particular time, because there were just a few production houses and wasanii walikuwa ni wengi, so kuna competition and all that, you understand? So it was not easy, but I thank God I got lucky, and here I am. Yeah.
What exactly wasn't easy? The fact that ni Mombasa na usanii ni kind of tricky in Mombasa, or the fact that you are also a female getting into this kind of industry?
I will say it was not easy, because production houses were not so much, had not grown at that particular time, because I will say when I was starting, there were only 2 production houses that had kicked in. You understand? So
which year was this?
Sorry?
Which year was that?
2018. That was 2018.
And only 2 production houses were there?
Yes. Those okay, production houses zilikuwa zile ndogo ndogo, but the ones that kidogo zinajulikana, yes. And once you are employed in such a production house, you feel uko vizuri in terms of your income, you understand? So haikuwa rahisi. And I wouldn't say Mombasa hakuna talent, or talent iko Mombasa sana, but that particular time ilikuwa, I mean, projects ni kidogo, wasanii ni wengi, so there is a competition. Kitambo uchaguliwe, you get into a role, you've struggled, you understand? Yeah, that's the challenge that I'm talking about. Yes.
So then how did you find yourself in such big productions like this ones that you're doing, like Petty, Penzi?
Okay.
Penzi has even gone across East Africa.
Okay, I think Petty has gone over East Africa. Yeah. So this is how it went. First of all, I started acting when I was in high school, in Form 2. So after high school, just a quick one, I went to Technical University of Mombasa. That was in 2017, I think 2017, 2016 there. So I joined drama also when I was in Technical University of Mombasa, and then lucky enough, the director of our drama team was the writer in Pete. You understand? So once by the time they were preparing a pilot, or they were they're doing the pre-production for Pete. So he just told me there's this what is it called? There's this they call auditions. Yeah, there's this audition, so I should go and try. I went and tried, and lucky enough, yeah, I got selected.
As in, when wale two auditions iko hapo, let's do this thing, and that's it.
Apana, you know, as an actor, you need to go for these auditions. Yeah, huwezi kaa nyumbani, ungojewe sijui utafutiwe role,
uitwe tu.
Haiwezekani. Hata sasa hivi mimi audition yote ikitokea, I will go. Yes. Huwezi choka kama msanii. You have to go for all these auditions. Yeah.
And there was an excerpt that was actually even playing there. Director just put it. That was actually an excerpt from Pete.
Okay.
What is your most exciting moment when you are on set? I mean, why I ask this is because when it comes to acting, and actually just like to say usanii, we are still in that space. Yani niseme tu kama Africa, not even Africa, just as Kenya, we still don't take it with the respect that it deserves. To some extent, ini kama, yani nimeshindwa kwa hii career ama sijapata kazi hapa, so acha nijaribu, ikijipa ni sawa, ikikosa, inshallah.
I think what wanachukulia,
I want to know again, what is your motivating factor? What makes you just say that for me, I want to do this? Na sita feel ni kama at some point I'd want to just give up on it. Because the way you mentioned, ukianza haikuwa that easy. There were challenges here and there. And challenges don't end, it's just part of life. But you still keep at it. And even at that, you still have other initiatives that you're doing as a result of this.
So I think my motivation is the fact that I want to be a better woman than the one that I was before. You understand? I wake up every morning and I feel like I haven't done enough. I haven't done enough for what Selestine has pictured herself in the next 2 or 3 years. So I think that's what motivates me. And also, honestly speaking, my parents, I just want them to be characters like Sudi. So Mingia said Sudi ashaika joke yake pale, people laugh and we shoot, unanelewa. So ni kazi, at the same time we're also having fun while we're doing that job at that particular time. Yeah, so it's not that tiresome as it sounds. Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about your initiatives, the other things that you're doing. You're into community projects, CSR projects, and there's a part I was also reading that you mentioned you really want to make young girls know that they can also achieve their dreams. Is this specifically in acting only, or just generally achieve their dreams?
Honestly, generally, because I only want to talk about my backstory, but I come from a very humble family, you understand? And if I had given up, I believe singekuwa mahali niko sasa hivi. Of course, sijafika pale ambapo nataka kufika, but I believe as a woman or as a girl, you don't need to give up on your dreams. Like, first of all, you should believe in yourself and go for any opportunity that comes your way. Usikwe yule mtu wa kuchagua kazi. You know, there are people who ukimpea kazi atakwambia no, I can't do this. Ukimwambia you know I can't do this, no, hapana. You should just go for any opportunity that comes your way, because hujui ni opportunity gani ama hujui ni kazi gani ambayo itakutoa mahali huko and ikupeleke mahali kwingine. Yeah.
So does it mean that ukona a set of girls that you are already mentoring, talking to, or it's something still on the
sana in our church? Yeah, church kwetu kuna some ladies, that some few girls wenye kidogo na wa mentor nini na nini kwa fundisha. You know, let me tell you one thing. I might be sitting here like najichukulia mtu wa kawaida, but there's a lady out there who is looking forward to, I want to be like Selestine, I want to do this. You understand? So sitakagi kuambia mtu no, sitaki kuwa kama mimi, no. Mimi napenda kumotivate mtu. You understand? Because I don't know ameona nini kwangu. So I really love motivating people and making watu kuamini kuwa they can do more and they can do better. Yeah.
All right. Now, your empowerment projects and CSR project that you're also doing in the coastal region, and most of it is tied to drug addiction, drug abuse. You could have done different things. You could have done perhaps, teen pregnancies or something. Why drug addiction? Okay,
first of all, it's because we had a victim in our family that was into drugs. So I have seen, and I have experienced, and I have get to understand the side effects, the disadvantages, and ni vitu nyingi ambazo zinatokea, mtu anafanya, mtu anapitia, na zinaumiza familia. You understand? Zinaregesha nyuma familia. You understand? When, let's say for example, when mtu amekuwa ako so much addicted to drugs in a way that they'll just have to find a way to get money, you understand, so that they can just afford to get the drugs. So unakuta mtu sometimes anaingilia paka wizi and all that nini na nini. So to me, I felt like kama mimi na we are going through this particular situation, I believe ni familia nyingi sana ambazo zinapitia the same thing. You understand? So with my little knowledge, because at the end of the day, siwezi sema kuwa niko na knowledge kubwa sana, but it's just a matter of sitting with them, kuambia this is not good, kuwaelekeza, unanipata, like not doing much, but ile tu kwa motivate kwa there's more to just doing drugs, there's more to just stealing and all that. So hiyo ndio imeni motivate sana, the fact that we have a victim in our family. Yes. So
for you, it was more of a personal story that pushed you to do this.
Yes.
And when it comes to drug, is it the same as, drug addiction, is it the same kama you're empowering young girls, that it's only girls alone, or now you pick both genders when it comes to drug addiction?
When it comes to drug addiction, it has to be both genders. But so far, when you're in the middle now, sana ni wanaume, male. Yeah.
What is the issue? Why do most of them? Because again, work on a personal story.
Kabisa. I think issue kubwa ya, especially in Mombasa, ukiongelesha wengi, they complaining that hakuna kazi. You understand? Unemployment. So unauliza mtu sasa, fine, hakuna kazi, ndio. But then taking drugs ama will be using drugs itakupatia kazi. You understand? Because at the end of the day, hiyo ni kama kujijustify. It's just justifying yourself, but haileti solutions. Unanelewa? So most of the people out there are complaining about unemployment. Kwa they have nothing to do, wakiamka asubuhi ni wakae nyumbani, they need money. You understand? But hawa watu still wanasahau kuwa kazi ni wewe mwenyewe. Sometimes you just have kujituma, usingoje paka uandikwe kazi. You understand? Like uamke tu asubuhi, pika anything. Kuna hata watu wanauza maandazi, watu wanafanya nini, hizo pia ni kazi. You understand? Because huwezi kaa na ungoje kupewa. Unanelewa? At the end of the day, unaambiwa an empty mind is the devil's workshop. Unanelewa?
Yes. Inakuwa devil's workshop.
Kabisa. Utajikuta tu umeshikana na bad company, ushaanza kuvuta hii, umeanza kufanya ile. At the end of the day, ukija kurealize ushakuwa addict. Uwezi kuacha tena. So ni kitu ambacho sio rahisi and kinasikitisha. Yeah, because
okay, so hii initiative ya drug addiction, because hata sio pako unasema, when it comes to the coastal region, this is actually a big issue. And when it comes to drug addiction, ulianza hii initiative when, na so far ni wangapi at least able to change their perception?
I started ilikuwa 2016, 2019, that's when I started. But kidogo nikaa napata support, saa ingine support inapotea, unaelewa? Saa ingine una give up, you feel like nobody is even helping. Yeah, hakuna mtu ananisaidia. But saa ingine juu ni kitu ambacho kiko ndani, you can't stop doing it. Yeah, so and a few people like kuna huyu msichana alikuwa anasoma aka drop out shule, and then I had to talk to her, nimwelezee, akakubali kurudi shule, and now she's like, manze Selestine umenisaidia, nashukuru sana. Yeah. I wouldn't want to mention her name. Yeah.
So when you look at some of these stories, for you as a person, how does this make you feel?
First of all, I would say it makes me feel good, the fact that I can be an example to someone, or I can be a role model to someone. It makes me feel good, but at the same time, if I'm not able to achieve what I want, or if I'm not able to achieve my goals, kuna wakati mwingine na feel kama I am failing some people out there. Unanielewa? Na feel ni kama sijafanya kile kitu ambacho nataka kufanya. You understand? So sometimes I will sit with my colleagues and I'm like, nitatafuta nani ambaye atatusaidia tufanye hiki kitu. You understand? Yeah, because the kitu ambacho kiko in me, I would really love, kama ningekuwa na uwezo, I could even get a place where I could start mentoring them, nini na nini, unanielewa? But at the particular moment, I will just use my small knowledge, little knowledge to just talk to them and better themselves, or better maisha yao.
Okay.
Yeah.
Naona director anashinda yake hizo clips za pete. Tutaka mtu hapo una beat again. But let's stick here a bit. Unasema ukipata usaidizi, you can be able at least to even set up a place, maybe set up like a home for these people.
Yes.
So saizi unaendanga ukiongelesha hizi tu one-on-one, ama you just have like a specific area? How do you get to do this?
Sana sana unajua, okay, neighborhood yangu. Sana sana pia mali tunakaa, my neighborhood ni watu ambao they are so much into those things. So they are my friends. Ni watu ambao ni marafiki zangu sana. So instead of kuonyesha watu like, hey, wewe unatumia hii, mimi siwezi deal na wewe, I embrace them. You understand?
So wewe huwa push far away?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. Actually, ni marafiki zangu sana. Unanielewa? So hata singine ukikuona, Celeste, no, nini, you understand? Yeah, I just embrace them. Sasa wakati unamuembrace mtu, ndio inakuwa rahisi wewe kumuongelesha. You understand? Because wakati ukiletea mtu ukali and ni ngumu mtu kukaa na kukusikiza. So you have to first embrace them, and you have to show them that you love them despite their whatever, despite vile wao wako, you still love them, and they are people ambao ni important sana kwa society. Yes.
All right, now tukiongelea issue ya funding, because when you look at most initiatives, mara mingi mtu kama ulianza 2019, na unaifanya because it is something in you have a passion for it, you have a backstory, so you have an experience for it, and you want to change how your community, society is doing and viewing this kind of things. But mara moja unapatanga mtu akianza, na hata venye unaiongea, the issue of funding, ama ndapata usaidizi wapi niendelee kujiendeleza. So wewe saizi, while you're trying to do this, is it from friends, ama to your proceeds from acting? How are you funding this initiative? Because again, from 2019,
si rahisi, honestly speaking, si rahisi. Kama nilivyokuambia. So what I normally do, I do it myself. Sitoi kitu kikubwa sana, but kile kidogo ambacho naweza kutoa, I do it myself, honestly speaking. Nimekuwa nikijisaidia tu pale kidogo napata, like, because mtu anaweza kufuata like, mazee sijakula. You understand? I need this and this and this and this. Humpei pesa, because ukishampatia pesa ndo hivyo. What you do, unaenda you get kama kumnunulia ka shopping na nini, unampatia, anapeleka nyumbani, and that's it. Because honestly speaking, wale watu ukiwapatia pesa ni kama sasa umewambia go and keep on doing what you're doing. Yes.
I mean, it's one thing to either give money or even shopping, but it's a different story to like give this person skills to do something.
It's
because ni mara mingi atakwambia nataka pesa, okay, utampatia pesa na tunakubali, but mara ngapi utamnunulia mkate, maziwa ama mboga. So kuna skills zenye ambao wewe unawapatia, ama do you get people to come also talk to them or something?
Okay, kama most female, I mean male friends ambao nime get along na wao, wengi wao saizi wamejoin football around our area. So unakuta like every time wako busy, wako mazoezi, wanafanya hizo nini practice zao, wanapata games, they play, so wanakuwa kidogo wako active when it comes to skills. Na kama nilivyokuambia pia, when it comes to girls, ladies, but mostly wao wengi hawako into drugs sana wanaume ambao nimedeal nao ndo wako so much into drugs. So unakuta kama ladies in our church, wengi wao na wanataka kuigiza. Unajua mtu akikuona waigiza na feel like I want to do this.
Hata mimi naweza fanya.
Hata mimi naweza fanya. So tunafanyaga small skits, nini, tuna perform kanisani, you understand? Yeah, and wakikuwa poa kama kumetokea auditions, naambia mazee kuna auditions, go and try your luck. Yeah.
What's your plan with this initiative? As in, are you planning to like expand it further, ama itabaki tu pale kwa your community?
Obvious, I would love to expand it. That is very obvious, but again, I think ninge appreciate sana kama ningepata support from my NGOs, organizations ambazo zina deal na mambo na drugs and all that, because I believe once I get that channel itakuwa rahisi and it's going to grow, na pia tutaweza capture ama kuleta watu wengi ambao tutawasaidia. Yeah,
makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
All right, let's go back to your acting. Director amekuwa akiweka hizo clips, now we are here. Let's talk about the consistency. I mean, anytime I have conversations surrounding film industry in this country, like we said earlier, it's not an easy space to get to. And the fact that there's a lot of considerations, there's lack of consideration on that kind of space or industry, whereby watu wameichukua tu kama side hustle.
Yes, yes.
So sometimes inakuwa difficult hata kuwa consistent at it. But you have been consistent. What makes you stay that consistent?
Okay, first of all, I've said, let me just try to tell a small story about my acting. I've been consistent because I've been shooting Pete for the last 4 years, since 2018. You understand? So sometimes consistency comes in with the longevity of the project. You understand?
So you can a project inaka for a while.
Yeah, you have to. Lazima tu utakuwa kwa kazini hiyo time yote. Unanielewa? Kwa mfano ingekuwa Pete nimeshoot for like 1 month or 2 months, ningekuwa nimemaliza. So I would have like to go and look for other auditions and other projects ambazo maybe my director and my producers could love to feature me in. Unanielewa? So like with Pete imekuwa ndefu, take a long period. We've been shooting from 2018. It's been 4 years. Yeah, it's been 4 years of just shooting Pete. Yeah, you can imagine.
Well, that's quite a long time. And that is what helps you keep consistent.
Yes.
And stay consistent.
Yeah.
Consistent at it. Again, let's talk about something else also when it comes to remuneration or payment. Good number of actors you will speak to, and most especially upcoming, or those that have even been there just for a while, they will tell you one of the major reasons why I don't stay here long enough, or one reason why it is sort of like a side hustle back at Jeepney, because producers, and it always goes to producers. Producers, they don't give us our due. Like utapata unakuja rehearsal, you do your thing before even you start shooting, or if it's theater, you do rehearsal before the day of the show, and each time you rehearsal, you're not paid anything back at time your show. Have you ever had an experience of that?
It's true, honestly.
Also, it's a thing.
It's a thing that happens.
Oh, okay.
But seriously, let me just try to explain this to actors out there.
When you shall make it.
Hapana, bado sija make it. Unaona, like hujaanza kazi. It's more of an when the interview ndo ili sasa uonekane kama unaweza kufanya kazi or you can't do it. So you don't expect umekuja for rehearsals ama umekuja for auditions ama tuko kwa pre-production process and you want to get paid. Because after, for example, maybe the shooting company, because producers wanapewaga project na TV stations and all that, they have to deliver fast for them to get paid. So what do you want to be paid na hata project haijakuwa delivered kwa the stations ambazo you understand point yangu?
Okay, I get it.
Yes, so I believe acting inataka tu patience. You have to be patient. That is the key when you want to be a great actor. You have to be very patient. Sio rahisi. Trust me, you can go for more than 20 auditions na usichaguliwe. Yeah, it happens.
Ni talent hauna ama
ni talent is because it's because bado producer ama director.
Auditions 20 niko na talent.
Imagine it happens.
Oh really?
Kuna mtu atakwambia mimi nimeenda auditions mpaka nimechoka, like I've given up. But you don't have to give up. Itafika tu siku moja hivi utaenda audition tu moja hivi na ndio umekicken. You understand? Because a story has to fit your character. It's not about wewe wajua kuigiza ama wewe you're beautiful ama wewe you're this. A story has to fit your character. Like features zako lazima zifit na yule character ambayo director anamtafuta. Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's go back to that money issue just a bit. You've raised a very important point, by the way, that even these TV stations, it's first you deliver the project and then we'll pay you. But in the meanwhile, as you're waiting for deliberations and kick-off and all that, Saniana, how is he or she surviving?
Okay, then let me
be practical about it.
I understand your point. So it's as well as kama utaki kujaribu, ama if you don't want to be patient, then go home. Unanielewa? Me, I will say that go home, because me, I believe not even kwa acting peke yake, hata in the county government watu ulalamika hawalipu mishahara for 3 months, for 2 months. Unanielewa? So it needs patience. Honestly speaking, it just needs patience. Kama wewe unaona huwezi vumilia this particular period, you just want to get paid, go home, mama. I'm not trying to be mean, honestly. I'm just trying to be realistic.
If you can't be patient.
If you can't be patient, because hakuna kazi. Wasanii ni wengi wanatafuta kazi. You understand? Umekuwa lucky, we've been chosen and umepata role. And still you want that role now, unataka wewe uchukule na your own terms. You understand? It can't work that way. Unanielewa?
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Now we want to take a very short break. When we come back, I want us to discuss that issue and question of talent.
It's okay, no problem.
I feel like it's a very pertinent issue, especially when it comes to our generation. We always feel that we are talented, and we don't think there's really need for experience and skills sometimes, because I went to school and I have talent and I have a pretty face, so why aren't you picking me for this role? We take that break. We return to continue this conversation. Stay with us. Welcome back, and many thanks for staying with us. We continue with our conversation, still on set with Selestine Nyagha. Now, tukiwa off air tukao tunasema venye wewe unatetea producers badala ya utetea wasanii. Wewe ni msanii, wewe si producer. Uko side ya producers au uko side ya wasanii?
Niko side.
Uko neutral.
Yes, and najaribu tu kuwa honest.
Yeah.
Unanielewa? I'm just trying to be honest, na najaribu pia kuweigh. Because let me tell you one thing, wasanii tuko na ika tabia kulalamika sana. Unanielewa? Let me tell you one thing.
But usanii si rahisi.
Si rahisi. Sijasema usanii ni rahisi. Sio rahisi. Ndio maana nikasema nini? Usanii inataka uvumilivu.
Okay.
That's why nikasema inataka nini? Patience. Ndio si rahisi. Ingekuwa ni rahisi hatungehitaji patience. Unanielewa? But again, wasanii acha nisingila wasanii sana.
Mbona wasanii wanapenda complain?
Yes. Sometimes ni kama tu binadamu wa kawaida. Binadamu hata umfanyie nini, ata find to a way of kulalamika and complaining. You understand? Binadamu hatutosheki. We always say that hatutosheki. When it comes sasa kwa usanii, it is more. Unanielewa? Msanii utamlipa hii pesa maybe. Ama kwa mfano sasa mimi nimelipwa hii pesa leo. Nitasema hapa na feel hapa kuna pesa zingine hapa. Ama hii role yangu mbona imezidi kwa kubwa hii. Hii role bwana hizi lines zimekuwa nyingi. You need to add more. You understand?
Yeah.
We are forgetting why you had agreed at this particular rate. Unanielewa? But again also pia producers wengine wanatufinyilia. Let me just be honest. Acha tu niwe kote. Wakati mwingine pia producers wanatufinyilia. Unanielewa? You know very well that this particular talent or this particular character akona story mbele ambayo it's huge, ni kubwa. Utampea maybe scenes nyingi or many episodes, and then just because maybe yeye si star, just because yeye hajulikani, unanielewa, you end up kumlipa pesa ambayo ni kidogo. Uangalie talent yake, uangalie capabilities za huyu msanii. You understand? Hapo pia ndo producers wetu wanatufail. Unanielewa? And also another thing, squeezy kuna courtesy of producers kuchukua mastar. Unanielewa? Mtu ambaye as long as mtu kuna page ataangalia talent, ataangalia if this particular person can perform, yeye anaangalia tu usawa huyu mtu in a way that anatumia ku promote show yake. They are forgetting that quality no kitu kizuri. You understand? You might be having a very huge number of followers, but whatever you are portraying out there is nothing. Unanielewa?
Yeah.
For example, uko na show kubwa imejaa master kama wote na wote ni zero talent. What is the point of all that? Unanielewa? So I think producers should focus on talent za wasanii more of ustawao. Me, I would say that. Yeah.
You've raised a lot of issues, and I want us to touch on them one by one. And nataka tuanzie before to get payo patia producers or even production companies picking our master. Let's go back to that contract bit, because unja mara mob unapatanga you watch a movie or a film or even a series, actually a series unapata episode 1 kulikuwa na this person and they were even acting a bigger role. Ukienda kwa episode 5, 6, 7 maybe that character was killed ama alienda ushago na hivyo ndo alienda by the way hata rudi tena, and then when you fuatilia kabisa you actually realize that the reason why this person left, they maybe were a main character or even a supporting character, so their roles were quite big. Na hakujua hapo mbeleni kwamba atakuwa na play so many roles. Na whatever they sign, just the way you've mentioned, haitoshelezi. Then producer anasema sasa unaona ushaku wa star, unasema unataka kwanza kujibishana na mimi, basi enda. So what to see agree to? I mean, and actually, but it's an issue when it comes to acting, by the way.
It is. And that's why nikakwambia problem ambapo producers wanakuja nayo is like they know very well that this particular character akona workload mbele.
Yenye bado.
Yes.
Okay, shida nani wewe hujasoma basi script ujue vizuri.
Atupewagi scripts zote. We normally tunapewaga like 5 episodes. So hata kwa mfano sasa hivi maybe uniulize Pete next itakuwaje. I don't know.
You don't know and you're part of the main cast.
I don't know. Yes, I don't know because sisi tunapewaga episodes like kidogo kidogo, hatupewi zote. Unajua sometimes because usi trust mtu unaweza kupatia the whole story, maybe utoke hapa unaambia utaki kazi yangu tena. You go ahead and share my idea kwa mtu mwingine. You understand? So normally actors what tunapewa episodes kidogo kidogo. So huwezi jua workload yako ni gani, ni producer ambaye anajua ama production manager. Because wao by then washajua story iko vipi, washajua how they're going to build a character. Unanielewa? And also sometimes you are given a small role when you're starting, and then the producer feels like uko na uwezo wa kuperform or you can perform better, so they start building your role. You understand? So me, I would urge producers out there, wakati washakuona uwezo wako kwa ni mkubwa and they are building your story now as a character, they should also consider restructuring your contract. Unanielewa? Because maybe walikuwa wamekupatia role ya extra, but wamefeel kwa this is a performer, this can do better, acha tumjenge, acha tumpatie story. As much as unanijenga pia nijenge kwa mfuko. Unanielewa? Because
nakupatia exposure. Unajua ulikuwa tu extra.
I know. Hiyo ndo shida yao sasa. They feel like they're doing you a favor. Wanasahau pia ni kazi, and you are there because you want to get earned. Unanielewa? So I feel like it is a two-way thing, 50-50. Actors will play role yao na pia producers watuangalie sisi kama actors. Yes.
Is this part of why tunasemanga usanii ni ngumu, not for the faint-hearted? And is this part of why reasons why unapata art industry or acting industry kidogo, it's like ni kama inakufa kind of too when you look at some of these reasons or the examples that you're giving?
Okay. Kusema acting industry inakufa, no. In fact, of all sasa hivi imegrow sana, especially when I talk about Mombasa. Sasa hivi Mombasa, kama nilivyokuambia earlier, kuna projects nyingi sana that are being shot in Mombasa. So acting industry is growing. But ndo maana nikasema it is a 50-50 thing. I feel right now producers washaelewa what actors need or what actors understand, na pia actors washajua rights zao. You understand? Unajua once you realize your worth and once you know your worth, hakuna mtu anataka kuambia kitu chengine chochote. You understand? So I feel actors washajua rights zao na washajua their worth, and also producers are also playing their part. Unanielewa? Ndio maana nikakwambia it is a 50-50 thing. Yeah. But ukiona uko mahali na unafinyiliwa, what would you say somewhere where you're not comfortable?
There's no job. There are no jobs. Then
be patient. Vumilivu.
You'll tell someone to leave, but there are no jobs. Where do you want me to go?
It's true. It's very true.
So kwa tumvumilivu. Ukifeel unafinyiliwa na una place ingine,
Ukifeel umevumilia,
just pray and be patient.
Mungu nisaidie. So help me God.
All right, let's talk about something else.
Yeah.
The fact that you see, especially in most big films, ni zile uso umezoea, characters umezoea, actors umezoea, actresses umezoea. I mean, does it mean that when producers or when production companies put up auditions, they always have someone in mind, but they just do this for the formality bit of it? Because unapata mara nyingi unapata kwa industry watu wanasema, let's just go, but we just know who's going to play this role. I mean, it's a big movie. Tunajua who'll play this role.
I think that is also a challenge, because that is very true. Honestly speaking,
and it's still happening.
It is happening. Yeah, it is happening. Hata ukiangalia TV series nyingi ama movies nyingi, it's just the same faces. Sielewi why would you call actors for an audition and you have somebody in mind? I feel mimi wanafanya hiyo for formality, ile waonekane tu certain production house imefanya audition, you understand? But in mind wako na watu wao tayari kwa akili. I feel they should just create chances for these upcoming actors who are growing, because trust me, kuna talent iko, but nile tu most of the actors are complaining hawajapata that exposure. You understand? So I feel ama ningeomba producers out there wapeane tu chance kwa upcoming actors. There is potential, kuna potential. Yeah.
But sometimes the production companies say, you know, going by the kind of film or series I want to put out there, nikieka hawa upcoming, aitaniletea the returns that I want to get.
Then at least,
and again, there's that flip of what you're saying. If you don't get to empower, bring up this upcoming, I mean, where do we leave them? And we have talent.
Then I think, Sawa, maybe you're right, but sometimes at least if you have like 5 main characters, go for 2 ambao ni master when you want them to be in your film, and then pick 3 upcoming. Unanielewa? In a way that those that are up there are going to push our mwenye wako huku wafike mahali wako. Unanielewa? So I think isiko tu sasa ni show moja. Mimi kuna show mimi naziona zimejaa master.
Lakini tutasema hizo show.
Hatuwezi sema zimejaa master watupu. You understand? And you feel like sasa hao master wakishoot.
Na ni show haishangi, by the way.
Azishi. Watafute kama sisi upcoming kina Selestine jamani.
Alafu hiyo script ni kama inakwanga reinvented something, you know?
I know. So wapeane tu chance. Mimi Selestine ni upcoming jamani. You guys consider me, please.
Ume act for 4 years when you're upcoming.
Mimi ni upcoming bado.
All right, again, there's another issue, adaptation of scripts. Like we said, we won't mention shows, but we know there are some whereby it's not our story. We know that production companies are striving to write our Kenyan story. I mean, when I'm getting a script, it's because nataka ikuwe relatable na audience. So it's a Kenyan story. But we know of some films whereby this script is South African scripts.
Yes.
But we just want to bring it because it was big there. Let's bring it to Kenya. And sort of like try to, if it's a word, Kenyanize it, even though it's not Kenyan. What do you have to say about that? Does it mean that we actually sort of like losing our originality? I understand kuna wale wenye bado wanaandika our stories, but kuna wale wenye, no. Okay,
I think sometimes maybe it's like if this story did well out there. So I think producers wanataka tu kuona like, okay, if this TV series can do better out there, let's try to shoot it in our country and see kama ita kick in. Unanielewa? So it's not bad, si kitu mbaya.
Si kitu mbaya.
So kitu kibaya, but as long as we are not losing our track. Unanielewa? Kama ingekuwa like we are shooting hizo series za watu wa nje, hizo tu na hatufanyi zetu, then that could be bad. Lakini the fact that we also focus on our stories, we also focus on telling our own stories, it's not bad. Yeah.
So unasema si vibaya ku adapt, only that we don't do it at the expense of our originality.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want us to finish this show or conversation without talking about the question of talent. Why I say that? Because when it comes to entertainment industry, we rely heavily on the fact that I'm talented, I think I have a good voice, I think I have a pretty face, I went to school. So where does skill and experience live? And that's when unapatanga mara mingi hata ukipewa hiyo chance unasema, yes, we understand it's not so good kuacha mtu tu kusemanga unampa exposure for a long time. But when you're beginning, in my perspective, there's nothing wrong with that. But you rely heavily on, why would you keep doing that to me as a talent? Yeah, I'm talented. I have gone to school. I have a good voice. I think I can act. I have a pretty face. What is your perspective on all of this combined?
I will say it's good to know your worth, because once you know your worth, nobody can take advantage of you. It is good, but again, you also need to consider, and you also need to know what you want. The moment you know what you want, and wakati umekiwa kitu on the table, then you'll be able to figure out, if this what I want. If it's not what you want, then kwa nini ufanye kitu ambacho hutaki? You understand? So isikwe too much pressure on the talent. Like once you feel you're somewhere where you're not comfortable, once you feel you're somewhere where you're not growing as a talent, then you just express your feelings and you just put your wants on the table. Yeah,
I think that's a good place to end it, and a very important point. Once you feel you're not growing, express it.
Yeah, just express it. Why would you sit somewhere and you feel you're being suffocated? Don't be unfair.
At the expense of I'm still exposing and it's 5 years down.
Kabisa.
Na kupe exposure, you're still young. I don't know why they keep using you're still young. You know, you're young, you still have a long way to go, and it's 4 years down the line.
It's true. That's
someone just says I'm exposing you. I don't know why they keep doing that all the time. Anyway.
Umeenda kuigiza, umeenda auditions.
All right, so finally, Selestine, as we finish this conversation, what would you want to tell upcoming talent? And I want us to be very general in the arts, because I feel like when you talk about arts, it's, I mean, when you talk about acting, it's inclusive. When it comes to arts, acting, film, media, unapatanga easy industry, the challenges are just almost like similar. What would you want to say to upcoming people coming up in the arts space?
First of all, I would love to say they should put God first. That is the most important thing. Na pia discipline. Once you're disciplined, I'm very sure you can work under any environment. Unanielewa, because discipline yako ndo itakuweka mahali. So you have to be very disciplined, and patience, of course. You have to be very patient. It's not easy, and they should not give up. Yeah, do not give up. If you hear of any auditions and you're out there, please, I am begging you, in God's name, just go for those auditions. You never know. Maybe that will be your turning point. Yeah.
Na watu wache kiburi.
Be humble.
All right, thank you so much, Selestine, for your time. This has been a very interesting kind of conversation.
Thank you so much.
All right, this is where we bring this first segment of Entertainment Thursday to a close. I have been speaking to Selestine Nyagha, who is an actress, was a brand ambassador, involved in a lot of community service and CSR projects in her home area. So clearly doing a lot, just talking to us about her as a person, what she's involved in, and basically what you need to do, especially if you are in the arts space or the arts industry. We take a very quick breath. Steph is coming in up next with the next conversation.